Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. We're coming to you live from Singapore at the Singapore Fintech Festival, our 6th year of coverage for Trade Talks. Joining me to kick off our 2023 coverage, we have Lindsay Davis. She's founder of FemTech Association Asia. We're here to discuss the FemTech industry in Asia. Lindsay, it is great to have you with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's exciting to be here.
You got it. Tell us about FemTech Association Asia. Who are the members of it?
Sure. So we launched in October of 2021. We are currently representing about 75 companies across 9 countries throughout Asia, with the specialty really in Southeast Asia for now, but we're seeing so much more growth of FemTech throughout North. So moving into Hong Kong and South Korea, et cetera. And Japan obviously is a huge representative of how great the FemTech industry can be and the expansion. So we, well maybe first I should say FemTech being female technology, so anything in women's health and technology. So things like menstrual care, menopause care, hormonal health, wearables, reproductive care, fertility, et cetera. So our members here in Asia are basically 50% of the companies are based in Singapore, but we have a number of companies outside of Singapore as well, obviously the other half. We see a lot of growth coming out of Indonesia and Philippines in particular. Reproductive care is the biggest category that we see, and really that's fertility and pregnancy support for women. And then moving through, we actually are starting to see a lot of other sectors starting to kind of bubble up and grow. Menopause, hormonal health, as I mentioned, more in wearables, and most excitingly, and probably relevant to a lot of what we're going to see today, is AI and the use of AI in FemTech and women's health.
What are some of the current FemTech trends? What's the landscape like in Asia?
Sure. So the landscape that we see now is, first of all, as I mentioned, we're seeing a lot of companies being founded, especially since 2019, actually. Specifically in Southeast Asia, we've seen over half of the businesses of FemTech launching since that time. So it's really is a nascent industry, and a lot of what we're seeing with the trends is that movement towards new founders coming in. We are 80% female founders in our organization, but moreover, we're seeing that carry across the entire region, that it is a lot of female founders. So I think a really great opportunity for impact investing. We're sitting here in the ESG zone, so it's really important to see that women are not only going to be the recipients of a lot of these healthcare solutions, but also are going to be the ones starting these solutions and kicking off the entrepreneurship.
You learn so much about trends just by looking around and seeing the demographics. Certainly way more women than when I started covering this in 2018. But it's still a nascent field. FemTech was recently coined in 2016. What's needed to accelerate the growth in the FemTech industry, Asia in particular?
Sure. I think the first thing would be research. So basically incentivizing research. How are we ensuring that women's health isn't just thought of as being small men? We are actually our own complex beings, complex hormones, complex biology. So we need to make sure, first of all, that we're doing enough clinical trials, which are very expensive. So we need to make sure we're supporting the researchers and the research that is actually looking into women's health. Secondly, education and awareness. It's actually talking to the consumers, the patients, the community, and making sure that women are aware of their healthcare needs and all the solutions that are out there for them. And then finally, I think when we're looking at women's health, we're looking at that ongoing education and bringing together communities and having that ecosystem really develop among investors, academic institutions, and the community to make sure that we're getting the message out that there are solutions for women needs and opportunities for founders to take part.
Let's talk about that. What are some of the greatest opportunities for FemTech in Asia?
Sure. I think the biggest one right now is it's blue ocean. So anyone who's excited about being a founder, anyone who's passionate about women's health, there's a huge opportunity here. We really haven't seen anyone addressing chronic illness, which is more prevalent in women. We haven't seen a lot of businesses in the menopause space yet. So how are we taking care of our aging population and making sure that they have the solutions they need? And then finally, I think when we're looking at care, we can look at preventative care. So not just everything intervention once something's already happened, but part of that when I was talking about research is having the right knowledge and then maybe even AI coming into that play. How are we making sure we're supporting preventative care and preventative planning? And then of course we always encourage companies, including a lot of the companies here today, to look at their employee benefits and employee care to make sure women are top of mind, because again, we do have different issues and different struggles and different needs.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's not just about pregnancy.
Exactly, that's a great point.
I mean, especially for women who have more leadership positions right now that are entering, in the menopause stage and perhaps coming out of it. You need to be able to have your head on straight when you're running a company. So it's important. It's not just about having babies. Lindsay, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. And thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.